Easy breezy small-town romance, good vibes for good witches, and Ted Danson's brush with a pint-sized war in Lilliput? Hey, not every Hallmark series turned out to be a hit. The Hallmark film series Mystery Woman, which ran from 2003 to 2007, seems promising from the outside. It stars Kelly Martin as Samantha Kinsey, a bookstore owner and fan of murder mystery books who, surprise, gets involved in some murder mysteries in real life.
Let's play Whodunit.
Samantha may be a likable character, and the audience can live vicariously through her as she embarks into the world of amateur sleuthing with her partner in crime Philby, but the plot is lacking. It veers into unbelievable territory too frequently to allow viewers to get fully immersed in the show.
I think it's time for me to start snooping again.
Mystery Woman falls short of being truly suspenseful and ultimately can't compete with modern mystery shows. And as one IMDb reviewer describes, the over-syrupy score that accents every dramatic word makes me think this is an early 80s nighttime soap. Meet the Peetes is a reality TV show that first aired in 2018. It focuses on the Peete family, led by singer and actor Holly Robinson Peete and her husband, former NFL player Rodney Peete. The show gives viewers a glimpse into this big family's life, offering a real look at how a close family overcomes challenges and relates to one another.
I'm getting emotional.
Oh, don't cry.
Meet the Peetes is Hallmark's first foray into unscripted reality TV, and, well, you can tell. The show's biggest problem seemed to be that it simply lacked the drama needed for good reality TV. While the Peetes genuinely seem like great people, their lives aren't as compulsively watchable as, say, the endlessly drama-filled Kardashians. So even though Meet the Peetes was a favorite for some, others found the show boring. One IMDb reviewer even called the show a train wreck. Ultimately, Meet the Peetes couldn't make it past 2 seasons. Based on the 1726 satire novel by the same name, Gulliver's Travels is about a man who travels around the world and eventually returns home to share his tales with his loved ones. The miniseries was produced by Hallmark and Jim Henson Productions and aired on NBC back in 1996. The show features a good amount of fantasy, but also focuses on more serious themes like mental illness and what it means to be human. While some people find it to be one of the best adaptations of Jonathan Swift's novel, others found issues with it. Ultimately, audiences gave the miniseries a 63% on Rotten Tomatoes. On IMDb, some viewers lament Ted Danson's failed attempt at an English accent, while others feel the show goes on too long.
How is such a thing possible?
And while the special effects featured in this miniseries are impressive for 1996, they are decidedly less impressive in current times. Still, Gulliver's Travels may be worth a watch for fans of the fantasy genre or those who like the original novel by Jonathan Swift. But for the average person looking for a traditional, feel-good Hallmark series, this one doesn't quite hit the mark. When Hope Calls is a 2019 spin-off series from Hallmark's beloved original series When Calls the Heart. When Hope Calls takes place in the early 1900s and centers around sisters Lillian and Grace, who were separated as children but reunite as adults. Viewers get to watch as the main characters navigate life and the challenges of running an orphanage, all with a sprinkle of humor and a large serving of family-friendly romance.
Do you just look like a cowboy, or are you the real thing?
There are things to like about this show: upbeat characters, beautiful scenery, and heartfelt stories. It has that feel-good vibe you'd expect from a Hallmark series. But here's the thing, it's rare for spin-offs to be as good as the original, and that is the case when it comes to When Hope Calls. Along with it being too slow at times, IMDb reviewers highlight that the setting looks like a movie set, and everyone seems to stay clean. Even the show's content is almost too squeaky clean, and would benefit from a bit more realistic drama. Hallmark's science fiction miniseries, The Infinite Worlds of H.G. Wells, was released in 2001, and it generally earned good reviews. It focuses on the famous author Herbert George Wells, who finds he can travel through different dimensions, experiencing different points in time. IMDb reviewers were impressed with the characters and the script, and many found the miniseries to be engaging, thanks to a mix of fantasy and light romance.
The thing is, it may be possible to be visually in one part of the world and bodily in another.
I'm bodily in this immediate vicinity, in case you hadn't noticed.
But The Infinite Worlds of H.G. Wells isn't quite what you'd expect from the Hallmark Channel, because while it does have some romance, it is first and foremost a sci-fi series. Someone wanting the quintessential Hallmark experience would likely be let down by this series, because it's lacking a lot of the hallmarks of Hallmark classics. Small-town setting, and simple, small yet solvable problems, typically in the romantic drama genre. Another downside, as one reviewer highlighted, is that the acting, makeup, and effects can be dodgy at times. Is there such a thing as a too Hallmarky Hallmark show? If so, it may be Chesapeake Shores, based on the novels of the same name by Cheryl Woods. This TV series, which premiered in 2016 and was canceled after its 6th season in 2022, focuses on a young woman named Abby, played by Megan Ory. She leaves her high-stakes job in New York to go back to her hometown to help save her sisters in from foreclosure. The show focuses on themes of family and resilience, and Chesapeake Shores really gives Hallmark lovers exactly what they want, which is idyllic scenery, small-town vibes, light romance, and problems that always have a way of working out in the end.
I felt safe here.
I'm gonna make you feel safe again. I promise.
Some love Chesapeake Shores, the AV Club's review claimed. These two acting powerhouses alone may make the show worth watching, and the giddy chemistry of the romantic leads certainly doesn't hurt. Others, however, disagree. The New York Times called it, quote, as well scrubbed and predictable as they come. Love it or hate it, there is no denying that Chesapeake Shores is very Hallmark.
To family. To family.
The premise of Hallmark Signed, Sealed, Delivered is cheeky enough to pull even the least seasoned Hallmark viewers in. It focuses on a group of postal detectives who work together to deliver lost letters to people, changing their lives in the process. Sure, it can be cliché at times, but isn't that what Hallmark is all about?
We are talking about saving a life here.
IMDb reviewers praised Signed, Sealed, Delivered for its nerdy but lovable characters and heartwarming stories. Many agreed that it's the perfect show for people who don't want to watch violence, gore, or R-rated content, and that it's entertaining while still maintaining Hallmark's family friendliness. Signed, Sealed, Delivered may not be the show for everyone though, with some reviewers finding the characters to be overly simple and lacking in depth. And as the New York Daily News suggested in its review, it's got to be possible to be wholesome and a little more inspired at the same time.
Mrs. Thornton, welcome back.
Mr. Bouchard, you and the children seem to have worked yourselves into quite the state.
Hallmark's historical romance series, When Calls the Heart, premiered in January 2014. Since then, it's become a fan favorite, with 9 seasons available to watch and a 10th in production as of late 2022. It's based on the Canadian West book series by Janet Oak and centers around Elizabeth Thatcher, a widowed teacher who leaves her high society life to teach in a middle-of-nowhere mining town. A romance blooms between Elizabeth and local businessman Lucas Bouchard, but Elizabeth must first process grief from losing her late husband before she's able to love again.
I'm sorry, ma'am.
It's easy to see why people love When Calls the Heart. It's sappy in all the best ways. It deals with real issues like grief and loss and keeps viewers interested in the chemistry between the characters. Some IMDb reviewers have criticized the hair, makeup, and wardrobe choices, which are admittedly pretty modern looking for a show set in the early 1900s. But overall, this cozy Hallmark original series is widely loved. Home and Family initially aired on the Family Channel from 1996 to 1998. It was dropped from the network and disappeared into the entertainment void until 2012, when Hallmark revived the talk show. Home and Family isn't a scripted series like other Hallmark original series. Instead, it's a talk show that features DIY projects, recipes, crafts, and more, with a different guest each episode. It combines Hallmark's cheerful vibe with useful information, making it not only pleasant and easy to watch, but also a legitimate learning experience.
The magic. This is the part Cameron loves. I do!
It's even been nominated for multiple Emmy Awards. Home and Family covers a wide range of topics, from knitting to cooking to ancestry, and this means that it's a show that has the power to entertain just about anyone. Additionally, viewers can see behind-the-scenes content and get to know the cast and crew of the show, making for a warm and personal take on the typical talk show. Having a bad day? Sit back, relax, and watch Cedar Cove. Nothing bad ever happens there. Judge Olivia Lockhart, played by Andie MacDowell, is well-liked, trusted, and supportive of her community. Even when problems come up in Olivia's life, they get solved seamlessly. The Wall Street Journal's claim that Cedar Cove is as, quote, burden-free as a day on the beach with an umbrella, a book, and a breeze is an accurate assessment.
Maybe you don't have to leave home to find your second chance.
Based on a series of books by the same name, written by Debbie Macomber, Cedar Cove premiered in 2013 and ran for 3 well-loved seasons. While Hallmark shows and movies aren't necessarily known for their incredible acting, IMDb reviewers note that the actors in Cedar Cove are exceptionally talented. Reviewers also appreciate the beautiful scenery in the show and the themes of family and friendships that come up throughout the series. Ultimately, Cedar Cove is an easy watch that really epitomizes what Hallmark shows are all about. Good Witch is a fun, feel-good comedy, drama, fantasy series about Cassie Nightingale, played by Catherine Bell, a woman who runs a magic store in a small town where she offers advice and healing remedies to her customers.
You're not a witch, are you?
Silly.
There's so much to love about this series, from Cassie's magical psychic powers to the soothing small-town setting where everyone knows everyone. Described by one IMDb reviewer as a mix of Gilmore Girls and Sabrina the Teenage Witch, there is very little drama in the family-friendly series, and also no dark magic or anything remotely scary. It's all about the good vibes on Good Witch, which is why it's in the #1 spot on the list. We're not the only ones who love The Good Witch, though. In 2017, the series was the second most popular scripted show on TV, bringing in upwards of 2.5 million viewers, according to the New York Times. More people were watching Hallmark's Good Witch than shows like Silicon Valley and Pretty Little Liars. Despite its popularity, Good Witch never got the critical reception or recognition it deserved, which is why we're here to say, go watch it.